All right, everybody, I'm back. This is my second one since the new year, and I'm starting to do them, frequently. So hopefully this will be just continuing on. This one's going to be a little deep today, just like the last one. Before we start getting into the fun stuff, because I got to highlight some stuff that is pretty difficult for a lot of military members. I apologize. I'm still kind of in work clothes. I had some stuff to do after work, and I decided, screw it, I'm going to do it today. But let me start off by pouring my beer. I have a beer from Steamworks in Durango, Colorado. It is IPA, and it's a 9.2%. If you can see that, it. I'm excited because I don't think I had this one last time. So, yeah, Steamworks. Cheers to you guys. And I had to kind of share this in a little for my little Astros fans that are haters, Texas Rangers. So, this is what we're doing. Pouring me a beer. And today's topic is, like I said, going to be pretty deep. I went into love and how we were, how us military members kind of accept love and, deal with it. I had quite a bit of outreach from individuals that hit me up saying, hey, I really appreciate it. How did you get in my head? My cousin, a couple other people were like, how'd you get in my head? What the fuck, man? Well, it's because we all deal with it. We just don't want to talk about it. Just like this topic. This topic is really bad. I'm not saying bad. I don't want to bring you down. That's not my goal. That's not my intent. My intent is to bring you awareness. If I can be that light for one little military individual, I'm down. That's what I want to do. So that's why I'm bringing this topic out, and hopefully you can converse. Contact me anytime, and I have some resources after the fact, to just kind of throw out there for you guys. So cheers, Rangers, baby. But I am a little sad because my Cowboys lost, and I know some of you guys are going to throw it in the comments. I don't care. They do it to us every year. It's a toxic relationship, but we got to deal with it, right? All right. So, like I said, this topic's going to be a little tough. Hopefully I don't get a little choked up. But I do want to tell you that mental illness in U.S. veterans is pretty high. Actually, in veterans that are around combat or that deploy a lot, it's really high. And statistically speaking, the VA has us at around 11 to 20%, stating that we have some form of mental illness. But I'm here to say that that's probably a lie. And I say that, and I'm not trying to throw shade at the VA or anything or anybody else or any other statistic, but it's just like an alcohol questionnaire when you're in the military, where they ask you how many alcoholic beverages do you have a week, and or how often. I'm the first one to admit it. Like, I lie on those things like crazy because they want to flag you for everything, and they want to throw you into any kind of alcoholic rehabilitation centers or some kind of program. And that was very, very, very evident amongst our peers. We don't. Yeah, I have one alcoholic beverage every week. Bullshit. This one alcoholic beverage equates to essentially 2 to 3. And I mean, how us military members are. We like to have our beverages. We like to hang out. And so I would say that mental illness is a lot higher than what they show. I said it joking. I didn't say it jokingly. I said it last time without references, without really commenting to the truth, to facts, or to what's out there. But I wholeheartedly believe that military members have a very hard time, especially when they come out of the military. I mean, you talk about anybody that I've known has dealt with it, has dealt with some form of depression, has dealt with an identity loss whenever they retire from the military. Absolute identity loss, especially when you've been in the military for more than 10 years. It's your life. I just had this conversation today with an individual at work, and we were talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, it's hard because that first year was reacclimating yourself into the civilian sector. I was a kid when I joined, and then I was a 38-year-old man. Not necessarily. I mean, I was probably still a kid then too, but going from 20 years of service, I was longer. I was in longer in the service than I was in the civilian sector before. So I couldn't adapt. I had a hell of a time. I had to stop working, doing a part-time gig, and going to school full-time just so I can kind of focus on myself. And not a lot of people have that opportunity. It's hard. It is hard being out of the military and trying to figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what your identity is, who you are. I went from having a support group to, being alone and isolated. And I can name hundreds of friends, hundreds of people that I've come across, where they get out of the military and they feel lost. And it's all too common. I mean, like I said, 11 to 20% suffer from, PTSD, which I think that's false. And then they said 11% of veterans have elevated rates of depression compared to society that has like a 12.3. How is that? And even anxiety is at a 9.9 amongst veterans and only a 12.3 amongst non-veterans. Okay, so why are these numbers skewed? What are they doing? Why do they want to do that to of my peer group, my friend group, every single one of them suffers from depression, and probably 50% some form of PTSD. So why is it? I mean, who are they polling? Do I understand that that there's other career fields that are way worse than others, but we all serve. We all have the same, if you deploy, I guarantee you have some form of depression or some form of mental illness. And so this is what I wanted to highlight. This is what I wanted to say because, there's people out there that can't deal with it. I mean, what are the rates? What do they tell you guys quite often? 22% of 22 veterans die a day. Kill themselves a day. Let me rephrase it. Kill themselves a day, which is very unfortunate. That's every 80 minutes. Every 80 minutes. Think about that. An hour and 20 minutes. And it happens all the time. You hear the stories. I've had friends that have done it. I've had suicidal ideology. I've had that depression. I've been on that end. And that's why I want to say this, because this one is a hard topic. This one hurts. I mean, throughout your military career, you see it. You see it often. And should it be that way? No. But there's a stigma. There's a stigma amongst the military that if you go to, mental health, you're weak. You can't handle it. It's time to kick you out. Instead of trying to rehabilitate you to keep you because you're an asset. Instead, you're a burden. And that's the problem. But I have noticed, especially now since, Iraq is over and Afghanistan's over, they're pushing a lot more, programs to kind of indoctrinate you into society or help you adapt into a society. I mean, we're an adaptable force, and here we are adapting to what is to come next. Before, they never had these programs. I mean, now they give you 6 months to go go do an internship somewhere, and that internship could lead to a potential job. I was one of the first piloting groups to do that, and it was very beneficial. Did I get that job? No, I lost out to an individual that had 35 years of safety experience versus my measly 4 or 5 years of QA and of safety. So, I mean, yes, I was grateful for the opportunity to not be in uniform and be out of uniform for 6 months to go do whatever I needed to do, and they helped me out as well. But there's programs like that are helping out. There's constant things that they're evolving, and I really, really did appreciate that. And I know those that have come, to retire after me or get out of the service after me, and were able to take advantage of that. That I've heard nothing but positive things. It helps them kind of, reintegrate into society, and sometimes it's difficult because they're here wanting to be there early. They're there wanting to be there late, just like in the military. You stay 12, 14, 16-hour shifts, 18-hour shifts when, in reality, you should only be there 8 hours, 9 hours, but that was life. And that all translates into that depression, anxiety, the feeling unwanted, the feeling of, not fitting in. I still don't fit in with the individuals that I work with. And it's different because I'm not going to deploy with these guys. I'm not going to see these guys time in and time out for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a year, 2 years, 3 years. When you go to a remote tour, you don't see that. You're never going to see that in the civilian sector. I mean, it's very rare unless you go to Antarctica, but you're with a group that and you're not going to be there very long. But nobody does that. Nobody does deployments like that. Nobody gets out there, and I think that's where part of our depression stems from. The training, every little aspect of it. It's great because your endorphins are high. You are, even if you don't have like a real crazy job, even when you deploy, it's still the unknown. You go from having high, and then if you're in a deployed location where, whether you're outside the wire or inside the wire, and it's a hostile environment, you're getting mortared, you're getting shot at. I mean, you never know what's going on. You never fully understand until you come back and you sit down and you realize, 10, 12 years later, like, what the fuck? So I feel for the individuals that are like the Vietnam veterans or the World War II veterans that didn't get the same type of care that we're getting. And it's unfortunate because they were made to reintegrate into society and say, hey, little Timmy, fucking deuces, bro. Good luck. Figure it out. And that's why Vietnam veterans have had such a hard time. World War II veterans, they were just a different breed. I don't know. I know some of them have dealt with it, but they were a different breed. Wow. I don't know very many stories of. I know there's stories out there. I've heard of the stories where veterans have dealt with World War II veterans. Kind of tell a story, but they keep a lot of it internalized. But Vietnam veterans, they did too, until they reach a breaking point, and they're reaching that breaking point, and they're getting a lot older, and some of them don't know how to handle it. And I hope that doesn't continue on generationally in the military. I hope that we can, utilize these resources to actually get the help that we need, get the help that they need in the future. Hopefully they don't see any major conflicts, but that's never going to happen. You and I, all of us know that there's always going to be something. America in its 200 plus years have been in some kind of conflict or war for, I think it's like 94%, 95%. Fact check me on that, but I'm pretty close. I'm telling you right now. And with what last week's episode stated, or like what I was giving out, I got people that were telling me how depressed they were, how when they retired or got out, it was such a hard transition, and they felt useless, unwanted, hopeless, just like I did. And I said it in one of my previous episodes a year and a half ago, but I don't know if it really resonated with anybody. I mean, I'm pretty sure it did. I'm starting to get a little bit more views, and that's what I want. I want people to see it and be like, oh shit, this dude's right. We don't talk about it. I sit around and I have to ask friends because I want to know. And everybody that I've asked, fuck, dude, it's hard transitioning. I worked at the boneyard here on Davis Mountain, and I was a supervisor there, and a lot of the individuals that were military kind of gravitate back to that government entity because a lot of us are there. A lot of us are still working for the military because we feel that brotherhood, and that brotherhood creates a bond. So, as twisted as it is, and as shitty as it is that we have dark humor, that dark humor kind of deflects from what we're really feeling, at least at the moment. Because I can go on base and go work with the guys that I was working with, and there's always going to be some bullshit that's said that we talk shit to each other, but we all love each other. I can call any one of them right now, and they would be here in a heartbeat. But the thing is, we don't reach out. We don't talk to each other like that. I just recently started telling some of my really close circle, really close friends, like, especially my best friend. And that motherfucker knows, like, I'll get off the phone. I tell him that I'm proud of him and that I love him. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. Shit, I might not even be guaranteed 5 minutes from now. I could be on this and, something happens. But beside the point. But be out there saying it, telling people. Like, if you feel it, I know as military members, when we meet each other and people look at us weird because we say, "What's up, motherfucker? Hey, you piece of shit," blah, blah, blah. We'll talk shit to them right as they're coming at us and to give us a hug. But then when they walk away, that motherfucker was legit. And in the civilian sector, it's absolutely not like that. It's the opposite. It's, "Oh, hi, friend, blah, blah, blah." And then all of a sudden, when they turn their backs, that chick is a bitch or that dude is a fucking asshole and blah, blah, blah. But it's different with us. Because all my friends, you can get on my Facebook, you can get on anything, any platform that I'm on, and you see that these people, these individuals, guys and girls, will talk so much shit to me. But when we're face to face, our bond and our friendships legit. And it happens like that with separating one of my military best friends. We haven't seen each other in years. We saw each other last year, and it was like we didn't even skip a beat. He just had a baby, and I was spoiling the baby, and I was like, "Dude, that baby, I'm going to take that baby away." And we sat there and talked about the good old times. And I say the good old times, I mean, it's probably been, 13, 14 years now. Fuck. Right? Time flies like that. But bringing it back, we need to take care of each other. We need to check on each other. I have friends that call and ask for advice all the time. What do I do? I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling right. Well, what do you need me to do? Do you need me to take a flight? No. Let's just talk. They get better. But then I've also had opposite end, where I did have somebody that ended up, like I said in the last episode, because of certain things that he had going on. And and it was rough because probably a month prior he had tried to get a hold of me and I was asleep. And I was like, I'll call him. I'll talk to him later. And that was a rough one. That was an absolute rough one. But it happens. It happens. And I don't want to see it happen. There's a lot out there that could be done. Family, friends, and I know sometimes we feel like we can't turn to them. But why not? Why not? Because I have friends that I turn to all the time. Hey, I'm not fucking feeling so hot, bro. Like, I'm hurting. And do I seclude myself sometimes? Yeah, absolutely. Those that know me, those that will watch this, some individuals that really know me, know that I do seclude myself. I don't want to be around anybody. But they still check on me. They still hit me up. And I do that for some of my friends, both military and non-military. But I want to make sure everybody's good. So I challenge you to, make a conscious effort to find out, to see if, those that are around you, because you might be feeling something. If you feel a certain way, talk to one of your buddies, especially if they're military. Come on. We got to stick together. We got to take care of each other. We've been overseas doing the bullshit for, 20 years? I mean, shit. I joined in 98. We got attacked in 2001. I was deployed at the time. I was in Kuwait. You can only imagine how that was. But 17 years of my 20 years were at wartime. And even the peacetime wasn't really peacetime because I joined and there was actually Kosovo going on. And then there was another little conflict that was going on. And so you see the transition. You see the years go by and it's just nonstop. We're deploying, we're doing things. Look at now. You don't think those individuals that have to go overseas to the Middle East right now aren't going to be messed up in the head? I still have a lot of friends in the military. I mean, I've only been out 5.5 years now. But I, those that watch this, those that are going to see this, those that are still in, don't suppress your feelings while you're in. Do not do that. Go get help. Go get help. EMDR, normal therapy. I mean, there's other forms of therapy that can really help. And there's a lot of resources out there that military doesn't even have to pay. They do a lot of stuff for you guys, for us. I don't take advantage of it, but I have friends that do, and I can get those resources and I can post them. There's right down the street, probably about a half hour to 45 minutes. There's a military retreat or a veterans retreat for PTSD and depression and anxiety. Take you out there, you get to ride horses, you get to kind of just be on a ranch for, I think it's like 5 days, 3 days, and then just secluded from everything, from the world, but they take care of you. They feed you, they do everything. They have activities, and they have counselors there. I've been wanting to do it. I just haven't had the opportunity. I have a friend that gets to go fishing all the time with a whole bunch of other veterans. Veterans that have PTSD, veterans that had the depression and anxiety. And it always seems to help them. So, I'm bringing this out to hopefully get you guys to understand, to reach out to people. Hopefully this is the last one that I'm going to do that's kind of a little somber and a little down. But one other little fact. I mean, you heard me say 11 to 20% of veterans suffer from PTSD and depression, right? Which I think is false. Globally, they estimate only 5% of individuals have depression. And I guarantee you that rate is a lot lower with PTSD. It's nowhere near as high as the military. So I know there's I'm kind of wrapping this up because I don't want to go. I don't want to keep doing this, and this one's one that I just wanted to get off my chest before I start, getting into the fun stuff. And this is kind of the, hey, reach out, be us, take care of each other. Couple little websites or outreaches to hit up if you really need them. You can always, I will leave my number. I will leave, whatever you need. You can call me. You can reach out. You can talk to me. If I can get away and go, if I can't get away and go, I probably know somebody within the region. I have other friends that know people that are in the region, and we can get help and we can figure something out that way. But I want to give you a couple little resources for your pocket. There's of course, the VA, va.gov, and then there's the Veterans Crisis Line. That one's a big one. If you're feeling down, depressed, sad, please hit that one up. Wounded Warrior Project, a good one. They don't really do a lot of intake. They don't do any intake, and they have support groups, and I've met some really great people in it. But it's the Veterans Center. If you have PTSD, if you deploy to any region outside of the United States, and I want to say it's combat. No, I don't think it is, because I think you can. If you went to Korea, you can also do it. But the Veterans Center is a great resource. I have definitely had some groups that I was a part of, and also individual counseling, free of charge to veterans. discharged veterans, retired, medically discharged, whatever. As long as you're a veteran and you've been deployed, you can go to this. I would highly encourage to just do it. It's free. It's free counseling. You don't have to worry about anything. They don't keep records. Which is great. They keep your basic stuff, your name, a couple small little things, but they don't keep records. At least when I went, and I was going a few years ago. It was very minimal, which is great. You need that. If they deem that it's a little bit deeper, then they'll go ahead and send you to the VA or get you some other help some way. There's NAMI, which is National Alliance on Mental Illness. They have a military department there. And there's Heroes Mile. And then there's a whole bunch of others. Just look them up, or I'll start posting them. I don't care. That's something that I want to do. So if you ever feel the need, hit me up. Look for me on Facebook. Pedro Vasquez. I'm pretty sure if you're military, you're going to be able to find me through a friend, because I have quite a bit of friends that are military, and that, it's like Kevin Bacon. It's, what is it, 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon or whatever it is. I mean, everybody has some form of tie to me. Maybe. I don't know. I'm probably not even that popular. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching, you liking. At some point, I'm going to get an intro and an outro. And I have a couple friends that want to do this. Also, at the end of May 30th, 31st, June 1st, and June 2nd, I'm going to Vegas. And I already have about 15 to 20 people that are going to be there that I know. That we'll probably record some episodes, some shenanigans, some buffoonery, some, what is it, tomfoolery. There you go. And we're just going to fuck around, get drunk, have some drinks, talk, enjoy our company. If you want to go, let me know. We're going to stay on the Strip or somewhere close by, maybe at a resort, and just have a hell of a time. I would encourage you to go. Let's do this. If you want to share your story, you'll understand that as I go into these next episodes, it's not going to be scripted as to what we say, but there's going to be questions out there. Because I want to know what the fuck is your why. I want to know what your why is. I want to change this up and not be in this somber mood. But what is your why? So if you want to be on this episode, think about what the fuck your why was. Why were you in? Why did you do what you did? Makes sense, right? I know there's other military podcasts that are a lot deeper, that are SEALs, Rangers, PJs, Special Forces, or very intense fighting, Marines, such and such. But I want to try to keep mine light. Like, what was the fun shit that you liked, enjoyed? The stupid shit that you did. The shit that was the shit. But that's what I want. So, again, I appreciate you watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, please. Let's make this into something big, because I know you want to hear some stories, and I can't wait, because I got a couple of them lined up already, and it's just going to keep building. So I love you guys. If you guys need anything, reach out to me. I got resources, and let's take care of each other. All right, motherfuckers and ladies, you guys have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves, and don't be afraid to call.